which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May be seated. All right, roll call, please.
Copeland.
Here.
Honey.
Here.
Grady.
Here.
Waltz.
Here. Okay, we have 4 members present this evening with Alderman Martin and Baus currently absent. Motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Holt, second by Grady. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Citizens participation. Yes, ma'am.
How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
So I'm here because I was brought to my attention about possibly having an ordinance to change Halloween. And I have been in talks with a lot of people from around town, and also there's a lot of comments on Facebook. And 27 days out from Halloween, I think is a little bit, I'm not for sure the reason why we want to change it. There's already plans made for the Halloween, for that weekend. There's families having festivities, there's the youth hunting, there's so many other things going on, and a lot of people are planning on Halloween, which is Monday. So I understand, I know that there's some concern that with the school the next day and everything, that Halloween's been like that for 100 years. And so if we're going to do it on Monday, then we're going to do it for the next 3 years when it's on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're going to change it to Saturday every time.
So were you here at the last meeting?
No.
Okay, you were?
I was not.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, I read it, I just read it.
Yeah, so the thought, and it hasn't been officially passed yet.
Right.
There's a resolution tonight
Right.
that we'll discuss before we read. So preliminarily, the council voted yes to have a resolution for this evening to discuss and possibly pass. It's only for just this year only. There was no discussion for other years.
Well, stated that, that you would possibly go like every year here.
Right, yeah, that actually conversation did not take place. So it's for this year only, just kind of see how it goes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Well, I'm just here as a concerned citizen.
Sure.
That I would just I think it should stay on Halloween night. You're talking 27 days out. People have plans. There's things, in place and everything. And I don't see really why we would have to change it. If it is something that you guys are really feeling strongly about, then I think that it should come to the community and they should have a vote on it. Maybe we put on a ballot in the future or something like that, if that's the way you want to go in the future with it. But to just do it like 27 days out before Halloween, I think a lot of citizens are really concerned about it. So I'm just here to voice my opinion for them and to you and let you think about it.
I've heard a lot of positive and negative as well since last meeting. And again, we'll get to that, and it's going to be up to this council to decide if they're going to pass that resolution or not. But I have also been contacted and had positive and negative. So I've heard both sides. Yes, sir.
But talking about Halloween, I made the wrong vote the other night on Halloween night.
Okay, well, we'll get to the resolution later, but
I made the wrong vote the other night. People come up and they say, "Kevin, Halloween fall tomorrow. Hey, Monday." And what if we have a Halloween party where we're going to our kids to go trick or treating? We were going to the party in Halloween, and they have good about reason. Who are we to change the next service? Change it. Well, we're going to change Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Well,
I would say no. I would say no because those are federal holidays, and that's because they need to compare to this.
That's the wrong place.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't even on the same day every year, so that's irrelevant. But I agree. I've been contacted as well, and this council's going to have to make a decision tonight.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to voice my opinion
Sure.
on it and let you know how I felt. Thank you.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you. Anyone else here this evening for citizens participation? Yes, sir. Come on forward. Go ahead, state your name for the record, sir. Or actually, we have you on the agenda. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
So, I think a year ago, we met at the last city council meeting to discuss my project to see if you guys were in charge. And as of last month, we did get my project approved, and I could start working on it. Now, today I'm here to ask you what type of permits I need, and you want it. And if
Okay. Was your project something to do with the old city jail, is that correct?
Yes, we are going to preservation the Cuba City Jail.
Okay. Have you spoke with Viva Cuba or any of the institutions that are in charge of the Cuba jail? The
Yes.
Historical Society?
Yes.
Okay.
We've been discussing a lot, and we met to get her final say, and she wants preservation, and she wanted to add a couple of stuff to it.
Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as you have the blessings of the Historical Society who's actually in charge of that building, then I don't see why there's any reason you can't move forward with the project. Obviously, sticking by some of their requests is going to be sort of, your instructions from us. But as far as needing any type of permits or anything, I don't think you're going to be required to need anything, any further approval from the city.
You're not building anything, you're not tearing anything out, you're just.
We're gonna repaint the whole city Cuba jail. We're planning on redoing the walkway and possibly adding a base for a picnic table.
Oh, okay. So there will be some construction type work going on then. I will reach out tomorrow to Bob Owen and make sure you don't need anything, but if you do, we'll be sure that we get that for you.
Okay.
I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal. But outside of that, again, as long as you have the blessings and instructions from the Historical Society, we're good.
Okay.
So I'll just follow up on any type of permit. I don't think you're going to need one, but in the event you do, we'll be sure we punch you in the right direction to get that taken care of for you.
Okay.
And then how soon are you wanting to start on the project?
Well, I was going to start first we gotta get donation and fundraising. We were just going to start in 2 weeks the fundraising
Okay.
because of a busy week schedule this week and next week. After that, we're going to get our supplies, our donations. Then we're going to get Ken's last final say, and we're going to start preserving the old Cuba City Jail.
Very good.
Is there electricity in there?
No.
So we're gonna need to maybe get some kind of lighting and heating in it for painting.
Are you just painting the exterior, or are you doing anything on the interior?
We're going to be painting the outside a darkish, whitish gray, and the inside white. A couple of days ago we did a lead test, see if the paint was lead, and it came up negative.
Okay. Well, communicate with City Hall on anything that you might need from Public Works. If you do need some electric or anything over there, they can put up a temporary if you need it. Just let us know. We'll be happy to do that for you. I'll check on any needed permits. And outside of that, you're good to go, man. You bet. Thank you for coming. Thank you for volunteering for the project.
Do you know the groundskeeper for Cuba City?
Jerry, you here?
Yeah.
He's here.
It's in a green shirt.
So I'm sure you guys can exchange some information. If you have any questions, he can be your point of question.
Thank you.
He's scary looking, but he's really not.
Yeah, he's not good. Big old teddy bear.
If you're out, so.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Thank you. Is there anyone else here this evening for citizen participation? Anything, Jody? Good? Nancy, you get this in a minute?
I'll say mine for the next meeting.
Okay. All right, hearing none, moving on to approval of the minutes, approve the regular meeting minutes of September 20th, 2022. Motion by Grabby. Second by Holt. All in favor say aye. Opposed. Same with the executive session meeting minutes of September 20th, 2022. Motion to approve. Motion by Honey, second by Grady. All in favor say aye. Opposed. Treasurer's report, bills to be paid, as well as the addition to the bills to be paid. Motion to pay the bills. Motion by Grady, second by Holt. All in favor say aye. Opposed. Bills paid. Electric department poll bids. You have a packet of information in front of you that contains some poll bids. Andy's here this evening. Andy spoke with me earlier today to discuss the variance in these bids. And Andy, you're welcome to go ahead and explain that to the council if you would.
There's two different pole bids there. The cheaper ones are, the green poles, which I don't know if you ever seen Crawford put them up or not. But Crawford stayed away, or they had to replace all of them because their life expectancy is not very good. That's the reason why it's cheaper. The other bit, and that company won't even give me a quote for the normal poles that we use because they're just out and they're not even quoting anybody those types of poles. The other company, they do have them, but they're about 30 to 35 weeks out, and that's the company I wish to go with because the green poles they're not very good poles. Nobody really gets them anymore.
So
Those were like an emergency use.
trying to find the company name here.
So is it the Baldwin pole?
Baldwin pole is the one I like to go with.
Okay, gotcha. So they have a little bit longer lead time, but they're the better poles that are going to be last much longer.
Those are 620 apiece.
Well, and that's another thing I want to talk to you about. The class 4s, they're a smaller round pole. That's one Cuba usually gets. Those are, I think, down there $450, $440. And the class 2s, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're a beefier pole. For one, they last longer, and let's say if a car hits them, depending how bad the car hits it ain't gonna hurt the pole.
What is the total bid amount on this other bid? You have one that's 13,667. Do we have a total for the was it Baldwin poles? Baldwin pole.
Well, you want either or, don't you, Andy?
Well, I'll leave that up to you guys because the class 4 and class 2 poles, a lot of utility companies have switched to class 2 poles just because they last longer and they're a little better pole quality.
Oh, I see.
Are they worth 1.5 times what the other one is? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I usually still, to be honest with you, they are good poles.
So the bid difference is $20,460 for Baldwin, and $13,667 for
Yes.
Thomas.
The class 4s, I think that costs 18. I think that costs 18 or 19.
Because he go with the 440s, he wants the 620s.
I know that this is a class 4 for 13. So
Right.
class 4, 40 times 45.
1980.
So that's your which is right balls, that 20 So it's about $7,000. So that's $7,000 difference.
Now, the class 4 poles, you could get 44 poles.
Right.
Class 2 poles, you only get 33.
The difference is the same, $7,000.
So it's your recommendation to get the class 2 poles from Baldwin? Is that correct?
I would try it out the class 2s, yeah, and see if you guys would out there. Because trust me, they do last longer. Yes.
Same stuff.
But they are more expensive.
Mr. Mayor,
Andy's part? Yeah,
I
go
want to
ahead.
make a motion that we go with Andy's, the lights.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Colvin, second by Grady, what is Andy's recommendation?
I know Bowen and Stovall, like, you know how defect, they switched to class 2. They switched class 2s when I was there, but he was talking to me about it.
You know your trade.
I'm good they are.
You know your trade better than we do, so
But that's your guys' decision.
we will definitely honor your recommendation. All in favor say aye. Opposed? And again, that's the class 2 ball. 33 pieces.
We're getting 7 less.
Correct.
7 less poles for $7,000 more.
Money's the same, it's 20,000 or 19,000 on the class 4 versus the class 4. You're getting less pole, but a better pole.
Yeah, I think that's the idea of investing in a better pole, so. Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. Anything else?
No, yes, there is. I don't know if you guys want to set up an electric committee meeting or not first, or not, but, talk over, Rich Shop project, what do you like here?
Okay.
I don't know if you guys all want to be there, or you want to set up a.
I think we need to have all the supervisors.
Yeah, I agree, I really do think everyone needs to be there, because this is, we need to go over this thoroughly.
I think you probably ought to have planning and zoning there as well, because he's requesting stuff that we're not required.
Has he submitted anything planning and zoning official yet?
I have to wait till all supervisors are ready and I can submit it further.
Right, so we
So,
need to have that.
planning
meeting.
and planning and zoning has not been scheduled for their
Right, so yeah, it hasn't even gotten that far yet, but
But
we need
we're
to have,
talking.
need to have a supervisor meeting, let's do that.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Just on electric. I don't know, I'm not other supervisors, so I don't know, but on
Let's,
electric,
that's if we water up to all of his houses.
We don't, we take it to the property line and we stop,
Yeah.
with all utilities, we take it to the property line and we stop. Yes, we do, that's all we're doing for him, we're not
He's
switching this.
requesting more.
He's
He
requesting.
might request it, but that's not what we're gonna do. We've never done that for any other individual.
well,
We're not
if
gonna
you
start.
not, if you not the meter base in the house, I have to coach it.
That, well, that's fine, but it's gonna be at his cost, not ours. Our cost is to take it to his property line.
That's what we need to do.
And I wanted to go over how the electric's gonna get run.
Okay, well, we need to set up a meeting, it sounds like maybe we can have something set for before the next council meeting, like a 5 o'clock meeting, we get all supervisors here. So we'll work on getting that done.
Oh, the roof subdivision project, the pole change outs that we're doing, that's gonna be put on hold until those poles show up. Because I have 10 40-foot poles left, and I don't want to use all of them just in case something happens.
Just in case, yeah.
And they used to be 2 weeks out, but now, for some reason, certain materials go haywire that might take forever to get. Like, poles used to be 2 weeks, now they're talking 30 to 35 weeks. Meter bases, at one time, I couldn't get them for 40 weeks, but now I can get them tomorrow if I know. So it comes and goes in certain some different materials.
Right.
So right now, poles are unfortunately.
Well, we'll get your polls over.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. This down here. We do have some appointments to make this evening, due to some vacancies. First one, beginning with the Park and Recreation Board, we accepted the resignation of Jordan Clean at the last meeting, and I would like to appoint Jimmy West to replace her position on the Park and Rec Board. Motion by Honey, second by Grady. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? So we will notify Jimmy that he will be on the Park and Rec Board. And planning and zoning, since Debbie Martin became an alderman, we have her vacancy as well, and Nancy Montgomery is here this evening. Nancy expressed an interest in joining the planning and zoning board, so we thank you for that, Nancy. So I'd like to entertain a motion to go ahead and approve the appointment of Nancy Montgomery to the planning and zoning board. Motion by Grady, second by Honey. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Nancy. Anything you'd like to add to that since you're here?
No, I'm excited. I think this will be a real challenge.
Well, we have three different requests for zoning changes right now, so there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up. And I know if you haven't already, you can probably get with Debbie, and she had a whole stack of information that I'm sure she'd be willing to share with you and get you up to speed on. Same with you, Tony. And it
I
sounds.
will be emailing you tomorrow, just that one up.
Yes.
But do what now?
I will be emailing you tomorrow.
Okay.
Just that one up. Mr. Hudson has one. Do I?
You probably need my email address. I don't know which one you have. Which council member is on the planning and zoning committee?
Grady and myself.
Okay.
So we're going to be having a meeting here soon, and it sounds like we're going to be setting the supervisors meeting as well. We'll probably try to include you guys in that as well.
Yeah.
So we can start moving forward some of these projects and some of these requests.
All right. So how often do you meet?
It depends on if there's a zoning request.
Okay.
So I don't think there's been one in 2 years, but now we're going to have a bunch of them all of a sudden.
Okay, so you have 3 right now?
Yes.
Nothing official on the third one. Somebody asked me about it today, so 2 for sure, and then possibly a third one.
Possibly third. Okay. And then all the documents I can get from Debbie, or she get those?
Did she turn in some of that information to City Hall?
She did not. I
Okay.
can either ask her for her, or I can just make a new one. So
Yeah,
when I
reach
email
out.
you, I'll let you know when you can
Okay.
pick those up.
Okay.
So we'll start moving on some of that stuff here pretty soon.
Can you email me those documents?
No, it's like
Oh,
You have to do a physical copy of that. So.
you
Not
Right.
today.
Thanks for doing that, Nancy. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Okay, EOC Director.
I'm currently in discussions with MRPC, possible grants that is out there. I had some discussions of possible new radios, ham radios, and to extend our tornado siren system. If Rich Top Farms get further down, where it start more developing, if we need that there. So hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably get some more feedback from them and see if there's anything within the state or federal. So we had siren tests this morning, all 5 worked. So, but that's all I have.
Did you give Lancaster mitigation?
Oh yes, that too. I'll give him a copy.
I'll send it to us.
Okay. MRPC is doing the Crawford County Hazard Mitigation Plan every 5 years. State and federal law. We have to have some type of plan for 5 years, how to mitigate disasters,
Correct.
to reduce them. So they just want a resolution from the city that we have accepted the plan itself. So I think the due date's October 31st. So hopefully by next meeting.
Probably the same resolution that you drove for us 5 years ago, it's just a renewal.
This renewal, but
So we can have that for the next meeting for approval.
yeah. So, but that's all I have.
Okay. Very good. Anything for Rodney? Police Chief.
Short and sweet tonight. On nuisance, Cameron's been working with Cuba for Shawls. They've got their yard cleaned up, he said. Fishwick, 5% Fishwick needs mowed and junk moved. He's working with that. And the same with 511 Maiden Lane. Yard cleaned up, mowed, junk needs to get cleaned up, so he's working on that. 813 Dwarf, he's made contact with them. They're getting it mowed, but as far as all the cleanup and on the yard, I think there's a bunch of just furniture and stuff piled out there and whatnot. Apparently the residence is in court, so whatever's going on with that, he's got to wait till after court.
Okay.
On that, get anything done for that. The other thing I want to talk about real fast is working with my school resource officers and the rising amount of vapes out there that they're dealing with at school. Obviously cigarettes, tobacco, other things of that nature. They've been in contact with our city prosecutor and our city judge. So instead of pulling a report, obviously, so a report that's in this report down to the juvenile office and overloading them with nicotine, stuff like that, we would like to, if you guys would allow me to, give this paper to Lance and have him draft up an ordinance for tobacco. And it's pretty simple. It's not, the state has one, but it doesn't quite cover it as easily for our city. But we'd like to have an ordinance that says that no person under the age of 21 may possess cigarettes, other tobacco products, alternative nicotine products, or vapor products. And penalties are under the age of 3 charged with minor possession of nicotine. And the penalties, first offense is $100 and 10 hours community service, second is $250, 25 hours, and third offense is 550 hours. And hopefully we'll start getting these deals that they're dealing with at the school with all the nicotine and nicotine vape taken care of. They're having.
You really need to pass an ordinance similar to this regardless, because until just a couple of months ago, the age of possessing tobacco was anybody over the age of 18. Now that it's gone up to 21, our current ordinance doesn't comply with state law.
Okay. Motion to allow Lance to draw up a new ordinance for tobacco use and possession to 21 years old with all the other language that is in that ordinance. Motion McGrady. Second by Tony. All in favor say aye. Opposed.
That's all I have.
Okay. Bob Baldwin called me today on a couple of these properties as well. Shaw Street right over here. the 30-day timeline on that is expiring. It's going to move to the next step, which means that the notification will be in the paper for 2 weeks. If the home has not been brought up to living standards at the end of that 2-week period, it'll come to the council and then we can make a determination on what we would like to see done. It'll be my intention to the council to try to seek bids or have our own people demolish and destroy the property and then file a lien on the property. But we can't cross that bridge for another 2 weeks or so, so hopefully by the next meeting, conversation we'll have at a later time. But there's a couple of those properties right now under that condemnation process. The first 30-day notice and then 2 weeks for the paper. And again, if nothing is being done, it'll have to go to a council vote, of course, but it'll be my intention to try and get those properties destroyed and liens put on the properties because I'm getting tired of looking at them, and I think a lot of other people are too. No excuses at this point. Thank you, Doug. Moving on to yes, ma'am. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Doug, we told Rhonda Harris last meeting that we were going to go to 3004 Chestnut and do something about the generator over there. Did we do that?
I know, Captain Sharpner was working with that, taking care of it. I know we got the phone call, I think he's also called the mayor. The guys, from what I understand, calling and putting words in the mayor's mouth as far as what the mayor's saying we're going to do and how we're going to do it, but we're making sure we're not violating anybody's rights by running a generator.
So a conversation I had with Captain Scharfenberg and the Ms. Harris that was here at the last meeting was, you know, the guy cannot live in the house because it's deemed unlivable, right, until he makes the necessary fixes and changes. I don't know if he's doing that or not, but he cannot inhabit the home at this point in time. So what he's doing is he's staying in his backyard, right? Well, he can stay in his backyard, I suppose. I think you could establish permanent residence in your backyard, but under the guise of I'm working on my home, I guess he can't. However, running the generator, that's obviously something he has the right to do. But from the hours of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., that's quiet hours. That's no fireworks, no loud music, no running generators, anything that's going to be an annoyance to the neighbors. I told, and Captain agreed, yeah, if it's 5 o'clock in the evening, you got to run a generator, right? That's working hours. There's no law against that. But 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., you can't be running this generator and powering lights and making a lot of noise. So I told Ms. Harris every single night after 10, between 6, that he's doing that, call the police. And Ben agreed that they'll go over there and deal with it during those hours. But we are limited to those hours. Correct? Correct. So, as far as work being done to the property, that has a 30-day condemnation notice on it now, and Bob Baldwin is working on that on the same timelines of the homes that we just discussed. Any more questions about that? Tony, you got anything?
I'm just wondering, is there an ordinance on the books for unlicensed vehicles?
Yes.
Alright.
And whenever we spoke last, I talked to Captain, and sounds like they might have turned it over to the nuisance officer. I'm not sure, but they're aware. So let me know if you're seeing anything done or not.
Yeah, I can give it time. I talked to Debbie earlier this week, and she informed me of the way to handle it from City Hall, Philip Paper. I didn't know about that, so I didn't want to take my time tonight, if you all just got to take yours.
Yeah, no, all good. I mean, I think the property owner's been notified by the police already.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Unfortunately,
Is that field?
we have a lot of these.
This week?
Is that field back there part of his yard?
Yes, that's the other one.
Yeah. And again, at a certain point, you know, we'll do the work and we'll put a lien on the property. I mean, it's just all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a process. I've let it go for years because I don't want to make life difficult for the lady.
Right.
But I've got a lot of money tied up in the house across the street. I'm going to be looking for a good renter, hopefully in a few months, and that's going to be for people.
You probably saw me drive by there a couple times in the last 2 days. I waved at him anyway. He's got like 6 riding lawnmowers and a tractor and a bush hog. Is that all junk or do they work?
No, they work.
He just doesn't want to use them, I guess.
He's gotta cut with clippers first, he's gotta pick that up and stack it in the pile and keep cutting it in with clippers to a certain point. I don't know. We can talk about that all night long.
Right. Well, keep me posted. Keep me posted on progress.
But the cars are the real nuisance. I mean, they've been there so long, you see the streets deteriorating around them, so.
Right. Yeah. Time to get them hauled off.
Yeah, I appreciate the help on it.
No worries. Anything else? Before we move on to this resolution discussion, again, thank you for bringing that to our attention, ma'am. I received comments, both positive and negative. So it was definitely my intention to have council discuss it before it goes into an actual resolution. So council, you heard public participation comments on it. I don't know if you've been reached out to out on the street or phone calls or emails or text messages or anything. I know Laney said City Hall received lots of phone calls about it, mostly in the negative, I believe. So before we pass this into a resolution to change it to Saturday, October 29th, we don't have to entertain a motion to do so if you guys feel that it's necessary. Any questions, comments, or concerns from the council about it?
I can go either way, don't matter to me. That really doesn't matter to me.
Sure.
I know that it's gonna run out into the middle of the week, and you ain't gonna wanna change it 5 days out. I understand all that, so either way.
I think we just need to leave Halloween alone.
Okay.
I want to make a motion to put it back to where it was.
Well, it never changed, so
Never changed.
it never changed, Kevin. It never changed. So here's what I'll do. Is there a motion for the first reading of bill number 2070? If there is not, then we won't make the first reading. Okay? Hearing none, we will no longer entertain bill number 2070. Thank you for drawing that up, please.
It was just Sunday, but I already watched the Chiefs game, so it was okay.
Okay.
Still possible.
Very good. I'm sure you'll bill us for your time. All right. With that being said, is there a motion for the first reading of bill number 2071, which is again to get into a contract for our pool resurfacing this operation? Motion by Honey, second by Grady. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? First reading, please.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Cuba, Missouri, on behalf of said city, to enter into a contract with Bond Pools Incorporated for renovations to the city of Cuba, Missouri's city pool.
Okay, heard first reading, motion to accept. Motion by Honey, second by Grady. Hold the council, please.
Holt,
Yes.
Grady,
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
Copeland.
Okay, first reading passes with a vote of 4-0. Motion for second reading of bill number 2071. Motion by Holt, second by Grady. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, second reading, please.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Cuba, Missouri, on behalf of said city, to enter into a contract with Bond Pools Incorporated for renovations to the city of Cuba, Missouri's city pool.
Okay, for the second reading, is there a motion to accept? Motion by Grady. Second by Holt. Hold the council, please.
Copeland.
Yes.
Honey.
Yes.
Grady. Holt.
Okay, second reading moves with a vote 4-0. That is now.
I said in favor.
Oh, it's back. Apologize. It's in
It's
here.
Copeland, sorry.
It's in with the bills.
I think it's special on the paper.
That is now special ordinance 864. 864. Very good. Old unfinished new business. Kevin.
I do. You put me on the park committee,
Yes, sir.
but I don't have those workers. I don't have a guy to take care of parks. I know what you're all gonna say is, well, grass cutting gets over, sure you can take care of parks. But I actually need a guy to take Joe Miller's place to keep the buildings, keep them winterized. I like to get the lake cleaned out. I need guys to take Joe Miller's place. I need maintenance guys. We got equipment, total days and picnic tables broken, some basketball nets not on basketball. Jerry is busy right now cutting grass. That is his number one job. The problem you have, if you have a number one job, and then you say, well, you do the parks, Jerry, but you find time. His number one job is the grass. So the park gets neglected. We need someone to take care of parks. We need to fill Joe Miller's place. We used to have 3. I only need 1 right now. All I need. We got maintenance, I believe. They may have fixed it. I don't know, Jerry, at Rackline, had a hole in the ceiling as I walked in a couple months ago. We gotta get that fixed. If we hire somebody, it's gonna be a lot cheaper than trying to contract it out or let the buildings go to heck. Our buildings gotta keep it up. The county needs to have carpenter skills, you know, keep buildings up. I'm all for hiring kids, okay, for summer help, blah, 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 but it'd been nice if we would have hired an older person, or, you know, somebody that had carpenter experience, older, younger, doesn't matter, to be able to go in and fix drywall, windows, stuff like that, instead of just the grass. The parks are being neglected. Go out and look at them. I had the city guys tell me, you got picnic tables broken down at the Tango Creek, the metal ones or new ones and stuff, and you compare it, that next down, got equipment. We got equipment still at Public Works, the gliders for the kids. Kids love it. So now that's it.
Well, I agree with you, Kevin.
So I don't know.
Not just the parks, but also our buildings, City Hall, Rec Line, and the police station, and anything else. I agree with you 100%. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, if you want to talk to Tanya, and Tanya calls me and says, you got my go-ahead to hire somebody in at, you know, this tier for this much money to fill that role, then I'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
I hadn't contact the company. I hadn't asked her about that, but I've asked her about some grants for parks and grants for police station.
If she grants us the blessing from a comptroller, if she grants us the blessing to hire someone, then I'll put it on the agenda.
But like I said, we are going to have a meeting here in the next couple of weeks with Tanya on grants for parks and police stations and stuff like that. There are grants out there.
Well, discuss that position as well while you're in that meeting then.
Well, I'm hoping you'll be at this meeting.
Well, I'm sure
we
I
don't
will
know
be.
when it's going to take place, because
Right.
it's pretty busy.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Get it set.
but I still want that lake, our lake at Good Park, Garrison, we need to clean it out. I did get a bid on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk to Tanya at that meeting, because we have different ways I want to go.
Well, there's a park board meeting Monday at 5:30.
Okay?
So definitely make sure you attend the park board meetings because, you know, they know it's in their budget and they're make those recommendations on how it's spent to us, which obviously you can help facilitate that.
I want to ask Jerry. Jerry, did you ever fix that basketball thing at Patty's Playground or the motorcycle?
Put it out of the ground.
So we need to get nets up at Tango Creek basketball. Need some nets. I hear this picnic table broke. We get time, run, look at it.
Okay, I can do that.
You know?
I gotta know what you need. No one's told me anything as well.
Right.
I mean, I'm not there every day, but once or twice a week I'm in the parks. You know, I mean, if something gets broken, either I do it, or we talk to somebody in public works, we all try to make sure it happens.
And I will say that Tommy is looking at a grant. We need to get our Cody, we need to get our walking trail.
What's that?
We need to get our walking trail all sealed up nicely. I got Bill did the same.
We just got the one down at Hood Park.
Yes.
But these are items that you need to take to a park board meeting on some of this stuff. So it's the 17th, Laney, is that correct?
Dave just said it's the 25th.
Okay. Well, we'll confirm with you when it is.
25th?
Is that a Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday is 25th.
It's an odd day to have one, but I guess that's just what you guys determined.
The scheduling was off. Yeah,
Okay.
there was people that couldn't make it, so.
Understood. Difficult time of year. But again, let's take some of this to the park board and talk to Tanya. And if she gives us a blessing to make a hire, we'll put it on the agenda and make vote on it.
And you know, we're going to change Halloween. There may be something that you guys don't want to change, might want to change, but I'm going to bring it up. I wasn't going to hold back because I just said, hey, well, let's don't change things, but I'd like to see the city of Cuba try a 4-day week, from 7 to about 5:30. I believe there could be some savings there, gasoline, knives, this and that, but I'd like to see a 4-day week, 10-hour day, 4-day week. I like for the council, just think about it right now, you know, no one jumping in that. Just think about it, 4-day week. That's all I have to say.
Okay? Dave? Mr. Grady?
No.
Well, I got a little bit here. Sure, over Public Works Building, we got 4 heaters over there. And they're electric, and they're old as dirt. There's only 2 of them working.
So this winter, when it gets really cold, it's gonna be awful hard to heat it to these heaters. Okay, there's been found 8 heaters, brand spanking new. These run anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a piece, or $500 each. These are brand spanking new. And if we replace them, we can either try to buy all 8, or we can just replace what we got, at least 4, because those are the 2 electric heaters that are going to be going out for you. Because when I worked over there, I'm sure Kevin said that they were there for 25 years ago. That's the same heaters. And electric heaters don't have the same kind of heating as gas. Sure. And it's all been broken down where the gas guys can put all the fittings and all the piping in, and just have it all right there.
Right.
You know, just work as it can. But there is a item that can be bought.
I spoke with Jimmy as well about this, as well as Tanya. Money's not an issue as far as the natural gas budget goes. Right. It's a heck of a deal on some heaters that another company in town is not using, and they're willing to work with us, and they can do on labor, and they have most of the material.
This is really for public works. They could use it. It doesn't have to be strictly on gas, unless we have to do it that way.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, maybe let Tanya split it if she needs to, but I do know that the money's there. Okay. So are you looking for a motion here?
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we should do this before they get sold, and then the others go out, and we have no heat over there at all.
A motion for the 8 heaters?
We can also use those other places, which are brand new. Our other buildings that we have natural gas in, we can use those hanging heaters there if we really need them. But they're there as if we need them. Why wait for these other ones to go out before you have something to get? Because these are going to be gone, they're going to be $1,000, $1,200 each one.
Okay. So a motion by Holt to move forward on the natural gas heaters, rough cost of about $8,900. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Grady. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, get the heaters, let Jimmy know. Anything else, Curtis?
No, that's it.
Alrighty, I don't have anything either, otherwise, except for we're gonna be getting some planning and zoning meetings posted, and we'll get that supervisor meeting posted as well. I'd like to see if we can't get that done on the 18th at 5 o'clock. But I'll work with Laney and we'll see if we can get everybody rounded up. That's all I have. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Tony, second by Grady, all in favor, say aye.